Yo, yo. We are live. I never checked to see if my mic was on. Let's hope it's working. I'll wait to get my notification here on YouTube. I haven't heard from Sir Charles Watkins yet. I sent him the message. We're all good. I got my mic is working. And haven't heard from Charles Watkins yet. Send him the message that we are live, or my the Zoom meeting ID stuff and password. And now waiting for him to show up for our live show Under the Lights, Monday nights, live with myself and Charles Watkins, defensive coordinator at Concordia University, Chicago. And I'm hanging out, trying to enjoy a Monday. And this is certainly a fall unlike any other for me, as there is no football for me right now. I'm trying hard to enjoy it. I would be enjoying this way more if my son was not a junior and waiting to start and play football and waiting to be a varsity football player really for the first time in his life. Something that he's been working for a while for, something I've been looking forward to for a really long time. And now we're not playing. Everyone around us is playing. Colleges in our state are playing, but we're not playing. So, yeah, I'm struggling with that. But outside of that, if it weren't for that, with my son being a junior, I would really be enjoying this fall of, well, it's a fall like I've never had. Like I come home from work and the weather is nice and, I stay super busy, but it's nice. It's nice. I can't complain about that. Yeah, Coach Freeman, what's up? You guys are officially back on. I am extremely jealous, quite upset in ways, and people in Illinois are getting more and more upset. Watkins says that his password's not working. Let me send it to him again. Oops, I messed it up. I messed it up, Charles. Here's the new password coming. Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad. And Coach Q in the house. What's up, man? Coach Q in the house out of back of the yard, Chicago. Welcome, guys. If you're just getting here, check in. Let us know where you're watching from. It is Monday night. Time for a little Under the Lights with myself and Charles Watkins, D coordinator at Concordia University, Chicago. I need to put my headphones on or I won't be able to hear Watkins. Is he here yet? He's not here yet. Let's see. Which way is left and which way is right? That's the part I always mess up. All right. I knew something felt wrong. But welcome. We're going to hang out a little bit, talk some football, talk some of the weekend football, college football, NFL football. Who's looking good? Who's not looking good? Oh, he says he still can't get in. What's the problem, Charles? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm going to send this to him one more time. Okay. How about that? Password 372. Am I reading this correct? 189. Come on, that's got to be right. If that ain't right, no, it is right. It's right. All right. What's up, Coach Thomason? I thought I saw you in the house with the Coach to Coach video earlier tonight. Anybody else that's just getting here, check in. Let us know where you're from. We'd love to know where all our coaches are from. Thomason, I'm reviewing here. I feel like you're from Oregon, right? And we talked about whether or not the weather was, the smoke was getting to you guys. Ben Johnson out of Evansville, Indiana, Evansville Memorial High School. Yeah, welcome, Coach Johnson. How'd you guys do last weekend? I know you guys had a tough start, not necessarily because you weren't playing good football, but you happened to run into maybe the three best teams on your schedule the first 3 weeks of the year. Thomason, no football in Oregon, correct? And none on the horizon from what I've heard. But Freeman from Minnesota is back on. They're back on for football. And nothing doing here in Illinois. I'm sitting around I'm actually watching the Cardinals play right now rather than watching Monday Night Football. And now I'm shutting off the Cardinals because they are now down 3-1. Dang, Cardinals, they are so average. It really bothers me. Saints and Vegas locked up 17-17. That sounds funny to say, doesn't it? The Vegas Saints. They won last Friday, now 2-3. The first three teams they've played are at now 15-0. Wow. Do all three of those teams have to play each other later in the season? February 22nd, first practice in Oregon. First game October 8th in Minnesota. I'll tell you what, everybody in Illinois is getting salty about this. There were rallies all over the state this weekend, and rightfully so. What's up, Coach Watkins? He's connecting.
Dude, that's so weird. It won't let me do it from my laptop. I got to do it from the phone.
Really? It's telling you like something's wrong? Like ID is wrong or something?
Yeah, it's saying like the password is incorrect. Please try again.
But from your phone, it was correct.
It's saying password is incorrect.
That's weird, man.
Correct.
Well, we got you. We got you. Hopefully the internet connection's okay. We got a handful of guys watching in the chat, man. How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I've been trying to stay busy. We had practice Thursday, Friday. That went well. Had a really good weekend. Exciting football, college, NFL, and but it's been good. How was first day back in the class?
Well, we've been in class for a long time, so Monday was Monday, a little bit boring, but I'm sitting here trying to watch a little bit of Vegas and Saints. I was thinking how funny it sounded to say Vegas. Hey, how about them Patriots? They're pretty good though, huh?
They lost.
Come on, Watkins.
How can you be good and lose?
What? Do you even coach football?
How can you be good and lose?
Oh man, Watkins, you're just stubborn. Hey, they look tough, don't they?
They're 1-1 like my Cowboys.
Oh my goodness. Hey, let's go to the chat. Fellas, how good the Patriots look. They look good. They look good, man. Because listen, the Seahawks are good. Would you say the Seahawks are good?
I'll say okay.
They're okay. Who's good then? Who's good in the NFL?
It's still early. So many key guys got hurt. Saints are good. Saints are good. Are they winning right now?
It's 17-17. They better not lose or they can't be good, according to you.
Saints and Chiefs.
Ben Johnson says, Coach Watkins, has CUC released a schedule? I saw some of the Indiana D3 schools start February 27th.
Yeah, we start March. I think this March 15th.
Really? I wonder why they would be starting 2 weeks earlier than you. Is it like per league?
Is that where their first game is?
That I don't know. He just said Indiana D3 schools release their schedule and start February 27th. You have to let us know. Chap says, how about Josh Allen? How'd he look this week? I didn't see. What did the Bills do?
He went all. He threw for like 400 yards.
Did he?
I think he threw 4 too. Yeah, that's probably his best game as a pro.
Oh, dang. Okay, I'm gonna go log into the NFL and get some scores. How about my Bears, right? 2-0 Bears. Would you say they're good?
Undefeated, I told you that. They're a good team. Undefeated.
The Buccaneers win. The Bills beat the Dolphins 31-28, and Josh Allen throws for 417 yards. 31-28. Falcons and Cowboys. Now tell me, I heard or I saw a headline today that said the Falcons blew it. And of course the headline said because they didn't know the rules. So what happened? I didn't see the end of the game. What happened?
So Cowboys kicked the onside kick, and that was unique. He used it without a tee. He just kicked it.
Yeah.
And it was slowly going 10 yards basically. And instead of the Falcons players grabbing it, they waited until it went 10 yards, and a Cowboy player jumped on it before the other guy. So there was like 2 guys that could have grabbed it before it went 10 yards.
But they left
it. They didn't. They left it. Yep.
Oh man, that's a bummer for them.
They left it. Cowboys got it. They threw it. CeeDee Lamb made a good play, kicked the field goal to win it, 46-yarder.
Campos in the house. Campos
There was
says
like a
2-0. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it was like a 2% chance for them to win starting the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Were you watching the whole thing? You say you're a Cowboys fan?
Oh, watched the whole thing. I was upset. I was on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Okay. So Ben Johnson says Hanover at Anderson on February 27th.
Oh, that's a good one.
That means, well, but are you hearing that? They're playing a game on February 27th. And you guys,
nice. Oh, okay.
and you guys
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
start practice till the 15th of March?
So we start. I want to say we start. Sorry, we start practice in February, but the first game not till March 20th.
Okay. Okay. So you are starting practice in
So
February.
how many games are they playing? Do you know how many games they're playing?
Nope. That's a good question. That's a good question. Chap says Atlanta was up 26-7 in the second quarter. Oh, my goodness. That is a killer. I did not see that game. The Packers are good. Listen, Aaron Rodgers, I guess I'm a little surprised he doesn't get more hype as a quarterback. I mean, he does. He gets a lot of hype.
Redemption.
He does get
He's
a
on
lot of hype,
redemption.
you know, but he doesn't get talked about very much as like an elite quarterback anymore. But I feel like he is. What do you guys think? Is Aaron
I guess.
Rodgers
Whoa.
elite?
What's your definition?
I
What's your
don't know.
category?
I
Like
don't
how-
know. I don't know. I can't define it. Is he one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Is he top 5?
Right now?
Is he top 5?
Top 5 quarterback.
Yeah. Would you draft him top 5
That's a-
quarterbacks? What's up, Coach Gardner's in the house. Welcome, welcome. We're discussing right now. Campos says 2-0. Who are you a fan of, Campos? Are you a Bears fan? I know you're from Southern Illinois. Dude went 18 for 30 yesterday, and receivers had 6 drops. I think Rodgers
6 drops.
is a top 5 quarterback. He's unbelievable. What are you watching right now, Watkins?
So I'm looking at the stats. I'm trying to see who we got out here so far.
The Raiders just took the lead.
So top five.
You're
Patrick
saying top
Mahomes.
5 in just yards.
And no, just in general, right now, top 5. Who would I take over Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, okay.
Tom
You take
Brady.
Mahomes. You take Brady over Rodgers.
I would.
What?
I'll take Lamar Jackson.
Lamar. Who else in the chat? Would you guys take Brady before Rodgers? I would not. No way. Okay, go ahead. Lamar.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. I would not take Drew Brees before Rodgers.
Russell Wilson.
Okay, Russell Wilson. I would take Russell Wilson.
Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson.
What? You put both of those
I'm going
guys
young.
ahead of Aaron
I'm going young
Rodgers?
school. I'm going. Absolutely.
You said Tom Brady, though. He's not young.
Absolutely. Who's that?
Freeman says, no
Kyler
way,
Murray?
Brady.
Deshaun Watson?
You
Those
think...
guys are young.
Yeah, well, I know I said Tom Brady is not young.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's not young by.
I got
Not
one
even
vote
close.
for no way Brady. Listen, Russell Wilson last night looked unbelievable. You want to talk about playing quarterback and like basically writing the book for how to play quarterback? Russell Wilson. The plays he's making, the way I mean, he just looks so smooth in everything he does. So smooth.
He was like early MVP last year, right? I don't know what happened. Did he fall off?
I don't know. I didn't hardly pay attention to the league at all last year, but I watched that game last night. First of all, both quarterbacks played very well. Cam Newton was stepping up and making some throws, and under traffic, in traffic, and Russell Wilson was unbelievable. Like, again, not watched much NFL for the last couple of years. I'm just
Cam Newton couldn't get 1 yard.
What you talking about on the last play?
On the last play. You only good as your last play.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Just when I start thinking that you're on your way to being such like ready to be this mature coach, you go and say things like that.
Hey, listen, I want a winner. My quarterback criteria, biggest emphasis is winner.
How do you put that last play on Cam Newton? He takes a snap. He follows power left.
And I saw so many greats make something out of nothing. And he didn't do it. For example, Dak Prescott made something out of nothing.
How old are you again?
Aaron Rodgers.
20 something.
Aaron Rodgers.
It just shows.
Aaron Rodgers do that. I have yet to see Cam Newton.
Dude.
I haven't seen it.
All I said was Cam Newton played really well. And you said he's only as good as his last play. Let's see. Coach Gardner says.
So you say very well. He only threw 1 touchdown and 1 interception. How's that playing very well?
Oh my gosh. Okay. See, here's how the game of football works, Charles. There's so much more than whether or not the touchdown score was thrown through the air or whether it was run on the ground. Because I do believe he ran one in. Yes? Or did he run 2 in?
How many 2 in? Is he a running back now? Is he a running back?
What difference does it make? This is modern day football. This is a wing T coach trying to teach you about modern day football. It don't matter anymore, man. You take that snap and run it in. Quiroga says St. Xavier University starts February 5th against University of St. Francis. Wow. Okay, so is it just that nice. Every conference is just on their own to do it when they want for D3? Is that what's happening?
Well, St. Xavier, that's NAI.
Oh, okay, that's right. Gardner says we had one team get shut down for 2 weeks, another that is close. Parents held their own homecoming dance. Outbreak. Oh, geez. So now we're getting a little bit of stickiness with football season in Utah. That's no good. But are you guys still good, Gardner? Or when you say parents held their own homecoming dance, was that at your school as well? Cam Newton is a stud, first of all. He's a stud. Now, he didn't score on that last play, but I've seen a lot of great running backs not get a yard on a certain big play. You can't put all that on the running back. Right?
Wrong.
Dude. I got a buddy. I got a buddy that you are exactly like right now.
We pay him big bucks to make that play. Mr. Kraft is paying that man to get 1 yard.
Okay, where would you have gone? Let's go. Let's go find this play. Hold up.
Let's watch the play. Let's watch it.
See, I don't know if you're gonna get to see it. Cam Newton. Last play. Okay, I'm gonna let everybody else see this, but I don't think you're gonna get to see it. So you guys need to chime in on the chat and tell Watkins how wrong he is. Is this Cam Newton's fault? That's what I want to know.
3 seconds to go.
Hold up.
Down by 5. First and goal.
Okay.
Ball's on the 1 yard line.
All right. Here comes Cam.
6'6", 260.
You guys tell.
Oh my God.
Is this on Cam?
Oh my God. He literally runs right into it. He could have bounced outside for the touchdown.
Come on, man.
He could literally.
Let's see. It's still coming up right now. Here we go. Man, I don't know. That guy comes knifing in at his knees.
Can you see my camera?
Where's the end zone clip? Where's the end zone clip? This is not end zone clip.
You see off the left side right there.
Man, he would have had to stop on a dime and try to get it outside. What do you guys think? Let's hear.
Disappointed.
Let's hear in the chat. David Thomason says it's the fault of that edge defender. Campos says yes. Yes what, Campos? Yes what? He should have got in? I'll tell you what. Somebody made a heck of a defensive play. Wow. Cut him down. Wow.
It was the corner.
Wow.
Okay, listen.
That was a bonehead play by the corner because he gave up the edge. You can't cut the edge. He's the last man.
Listen,
You
Watkins.
can't do that. Cam got to see it.
In the world of sports, Campos agrees with you. He said he should have bounced it. Ben Johnson said, I like the play call, just would have run it out of a spread look. They brought in the beef when the Patriots brought in heavy. Campos says he was committed to going inside.
Do you see the Y? Do you see the Y? A gaps covered, B gaps covered, C gaps covered. We got the D, the E, the F, the G. We got
G.
numbers here. We got numbers, Cam. We got numbers there. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at everyone slant to that strength, though.
Look at that.
There's
Bounce
nowhere
it.
to go.
Oh, my God. The greats find a way. The greats don't run right there like that. What is that? What is that?
What is that? Yo, you are
Look
you
like
man.
Pop Warner.
I didn't know you were such a hater, Watkins. I didn't take you for such a hater.
No, that's fact. I'm just saying. I just think maybe a young Cam. That's probably what it is. He's old now. Maybe a young Cam scores that. Maybe a young Cam. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know what you had for lunch. You're feisty today, man. You're feisty. Tell us about, hey, let's talk college football, man. I want to go see the new college football rankings, and where are you guys going to put the top Big Ten teams in these rankings? That's the question. Where are you guys going to put the top Big Ten teams
So
in
you
these
say
rankings?
top Big Ten. Well, let's stop you right there. You say top Big Ten teams. There's only one Big Ten team.
There's only one Big Ten team you're saying that's worthwhile, that's good?
Yes.
I don't know, man. What about Wisconsin and Penn State? I mean, Miami's in the top 10. You don't think Penn State and Wisconsin are going to be as good as Miami?
Are you serious?
You're not?
Did you not see Miami beat up on a top 25 team?
Okay.
Miami's at number 12.
Listen, my Illini beat a top 5 team last year. That doesn't mean that they're elite, but they beat them.
Who they beat?
Wisconsin. When Wisconsin came to our place and Illinois beat them. All right, here's the rankings. Clemson.
So you're proving my point.
No, according to you, they're awesome because they beat them. Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, Notre Dame, Auburn. Where you guys put Ohio State? Where are you guys putting Ohio State in there? Well, second question I have is, oh, look, they did put, I was just going to say, when do they start putting the Big Ten teams in? And it looks like the coaches poll has put the Big Ten teams in.
It's overrated. It's overrated. Oh, my God, it's overrated.
The AP poll does not have them in.
Overrated.
Are you seeing these polls?
They got Minnesota.
The coaches poll.
Minnesota at 20. They got them at 22.
Woo, Minnesota. So the coaches poll has them in and has Ohio State 10, Penn State 13, Wisconsin 17, Michigan 19, and Minnesota 22. Wow, Minnesota. Good for them. Are you a Minnesota believer? Are you buying or selling on Minnesota, Watkins?
buying PJ Fleck. I gotta buy.
You're a believer?
I'm a believer.
Do you think they could finish in the top 25 this year? I wonder what their schedule is. They might, being in the West, they might have got a favorable schedule. Here's their schedule.
Yeah,
Can you guys see this?
I think so. They play Michigan. They play Maryland. They play your fighting Illini. They play Iowa. They play Purdue. They play Northwestern. They can go undefeated.
That's a friendly schedule, man. Fellas, that is a friendly schedule for the Golden Gophers.
They can go undefeated.
I mean, honestly,
that's scary.
Wisconsin, well, of course, Michigan. You just don't know what you're going to get out of Michigan. Iowa's always an X factor because it's like Iowa could beat. They're always, first of all, good. And then they could come out and beat a top 5 team or get beat by someone who's not in the top 25. And then Wisconsin. For all we know, Wisconsin will be undefeated at the same time. Let's see this Wisconsin schedule.
Is there a yeah, it's a very easy schedule. I just saw that. Is there a Big Ten championship this year?
There is a championship week where they'll have everybody will match up. Of course, the champs, the 2 leaders, conference leaders, and then both second place teams play, both third place teams play. That's to give everybody 9 games. Here's Wisconsin's schedule, also very friendly. I mean, basically everyone in that West has the West, let's face it, the West is weaker. Friendly it just is what it is. Yeah. But what I don't understand is
it's so tough.
Like, let's look at that Michigan schedule. Here's Michigan's schedule. Minnesota, Michigan
That's
State,
tough.
Indiana, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State. They had to deal with Wisconsin. How'd they get Wisconsin and Minnesota as their crossovers? Michigan kind of got a raw deal here, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They got 2 crossovers into the West and picked up Minnesota and Wisconsin as their crossovers. That's brutal for Michigan.
Now that you said Penn State, if they can beat Ohio State second week, which is great because it's still early, they can run the table.
Not stats. I want schedule. I want schedule. I want Nittany Lions schedule.
That's the key game. Halloween will tell us who's going to win the Big Ten.
You think so? You think that'll be it?
Halloween will tell us who's going to win the Big Ten.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that's going to be exciting. Will they let – yeah, Michigan's schedule is about TV ratings. I mean, it sucks for them. I mean, here's the thing. They got the toughest – they might have the toughest schedule in the Big Ten. And then everybody, including Watkins, is going to ride Harbaugh's rear end. Because he doesn't win enough games, right? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
I just want it to be fair. That's all I want. They fired my guy, Rich Rodriguez, and they got the same record.
That's true. Why is Rich Rodriguez your guy?
The offense, baby. Up tempo, spread, triple option. That's what we're going to do.
Wait. No, I wanted to see Alabama's schedule. Where's Alabama's schedule? SEC.
I think Texas A&M got a raw deal.
Why? They get a tough schedule?
Tough.
Are you looking at schedules too?
Did you see that? Oh, dude, they got a tough.
Alabama schedule.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
Wait, so Alabama still hasn't played? The SEC started late, huh?
Played. SEC, it started this week. This is the opening.
Missouri, A&M, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, Arkansas. Okay, that's a tough schedule. That's a
Auburn's the only game.
That's a straight SEC schedule. No. That's tough. Yes, Georgia?
No.
They got to play Georgia and LSU.
The only one they got to worry about is Auburn.
How you don't think LSU is going to be worth a darn?
Auburn. LSU's not worth a darn. Georgia's not worth a darn. They don't have a quarterback now. Like, no. The one that look at Texas A&M schedule. They got at Alabama. They play Florida at home. Then they end their season with LSU at home at Auburn.
But you just said LSU is no good.
Alabama, only one they got to worry about is Georgia. Yeah, that's what I said. Let's look at their schedule. Let's take a let's take a poll. Let's look at their schedule, and I'll be real. I'll tell you their record end of the year.
Who are we talking about now?
3,
Who are we talking about?
4, 5. I said they go 5-5 at best.
Who? A&M?
LSU.
Oh, LSU 5-5?
LSU.
Dude, who is this guy?
At best.
Have you ever watched college football before?
Let's go through the schedule.
Okay. I'll try to find it. My computer's being wacky. Schedule for the LSU Tigers. Okay. You're saying they go 5-5 the year after winning national title. Who's with Watkins?
Look at it. Let's tell the crowd.
Who are the 5 losses? Go ahead.
So let's go through the wins.
Okay.
They beat Mississippi State.
Okay.
They beat Vanderbilt.
All right.
They beat Missouri.
Okay.
3-0. They lose to Florida.
Okay.
They beat South Carolina. Now that's 4-1. They lose to Auburn.
Ooh.
They lose to Alabama. They beat Arkansas. They lose to Texas A&M.
And you think they lose to Ole Miss? That's 5-4.
There you go.
You think they're going to lose to Ole Miss too?
I think the players are disappointed. I think Lane Kiffin gets them rallied up. I think so.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. And not going 5-5. No way. No chance.
What do you say? 6-4? What do you say?
First of all, who knows? I'm not any good at this stuff. That just sounds crazy to me. They've got such a strong program. It's not like they got just a whole bunch of chumps sitting around.
Whoa. You can't say they got such a strong program. Like, are you kidding me? Let's look at their record for the last 10 years. They win the national championship, and everybody quickly forget how bad they were.
Bad? Okay. I feel like you're full of it tonight. LSU football record 2010 to 2020. Is that searchable? Is this searchable? How am I going to find record year by year?
I got
okay.
I got it for you.
10-3 in 18, 9-4, 8-4, 9-3, 8-5, 10-3, 10-3, 13-1. You're full of it. You just said they were bad. Their worst years, 8-5 in 2014.
So we're talking about the SEC here now, right? Right? So I guess what's the standard? Because for me, if you lose 3 or more games, you're bad in the SEC. No.
You are something else tonight. You something else. I don't even know what to say, man. I can't even have a logical argument here.
What's the standard?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it is 9:30. We talked about college football. We talked about pro football. These guys in the chat don't even have the heart to tell you you're crazy, Watkins. Tell us about practice last Thursday, Friday. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, let's look at Bama's schedule per year. Can we do that?
What their record was in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous. So what's your point?
11-2, 14-1, 13-1, 14-1, 14-1. By your description of what you were saying about LSU, it was like I was having a hard time understanding it because LSU, and mark me if I'm wrong, that was their first time in the playoffs.
Bro, the playoff is 4 teams.
Right?
Though it's not like it's a 64-man bracket and it's like, gosh, can't you even just make the tournament? It's 4 teams.
Okay, I get that. What I'm saying though is like LSU plays those non-conference games, so you can't base that on their schedule, right? So Now we're really going to find out what they're made of. They're playing an SEC schedule,
Yep.
and that's
All
what we're here to
SEC
tell you.
schedule.
All SEC. There's no the Citadel.
So they don't
There's none
have
of
the
those
cupcakes early.
games. Exactly. Now we're going to really find out what LSU's made of.
That's true. And they lost a lot of draft picks.
I just can't wait to tell you. I can't wait to call you. When's their last game? I'm going to call you.
Late. Like, it'll be Christmas. You have to call me Christmas morning to tell me, to talk stuff to me, but there ain't no chance.
December 5th. Matter of fact, I'm going to call you on Thanksgiving and say, what did I say?
Hey, when LSU wins 7 games.
I'll take you out to dinner.
No.
Choice. Your choice.
All right, deal. When they win 7 games, you owe me dinner. I'm going to come up to Chicago and pick out a swanky little place, man. Swanky little place.
Practice was good. So what we got to do, we're only allowed groups of 10, including the coach. So 9 players and 1 coach. So we had to split practice in half. We practiced for 2 hours. So 1 hour with one group, another hour with the other group. So I had to split my DBs up. We had to split our O-line, split the linebackers. And then we're just doing individual drills for an hour. So I loved it because I'm able to work on some man stuff, some cover 3, some cover 2, footwork. And then as far as like some of that stuff that I don't get to really work because we only got 10, 15 minutes of Indy. So it's been a blessing in disguise. We got it one more day on Tuesday. And then Thursday, if everything goes well, we'll be able to go full team.
Now, you get to go full team next week?
On Thursday, if there's no positive test. On Tuesday.
When you say positive test, is that within your program or within the school or?
So within the school. So what they did was they're randomly testing the students. I think they're testing 20% of the student body. And if there's no positive tests, we're able to continue. And then we'll go from group of 10 to a group of 50. And so we'll be able to just do like all team defense, all team offense, and we won't be able to do good on good until the following week.
Do you get to wear pads at all this fall?
Yes, this fall, yes. So actually Thursday we're gonna go helmets, either helmets or helmets and shoulder pad. We're trying to decide what the rule is, if you gotta wear your helmet one day and then go back in those stages like you do at regular camp. So we're waiting to hear back from our athletic training staff.
Man, but you got to do 2 days this past week. You said Thursday, Friday, all position drills. That's actually would be great, man. Be able to slow down and just do all position drills. And
then we're young. We got a lot of young DBs, so it's been really good. Just teaching them because my defense is a formational defense. We got to make a lot of checks. We got to do a lot of talking. So it's been instrumental to get them in a classroom and then bring it out to on the field.
Now, last time we talked, you had talked about, I had said, hey, make sure that you have thought about what if your quote unquote dream doesn't happen?
Yep.
And you said, hey, I actually have an answer for that. I was in the shower and you're like, we're going to save that for next time. So do you still remember what you were going to say? Like, what if the dream doesn't happen? You still okay? You still got a plan?
So if you would have asked me this before then, I would have said, no, it's we got to go for it. You got to chase the dream. But I think this year, or just not even this year, yes, but also this last month or 2 months, it opened my eyes. And in that moment in the shower, I realized what it truly means to take a job for the players. And what I mean by that is, I think it's a cliche word, or I thought it was. I know a lot of people said it because it sounded good. And I'll be the first to admit it. I said it because it sounded good. It's what people wanted to hear. But it wasn't until that moment where I was like, wow, this is what it really means to coach for the players. Because these guys, they couldn't practice. They had to just go to class. There's not much for them to do on campus. then everything's online. This is their first time in college, and now it's online. I recruited 50 certain kids to come here, and they're struggling. So it's all in my power. Like, regardless of what happened with football, I want to make sure they start on the right foot, get the right tutors, know where to go. Like I came up with a scavenger hunt. I had the leaders take around the freshmen and show them where the mailroom is, where to go if you lose your card, where's all the classrooms, where's your class advisor, where to go to change your schedule, where to go for the career service. So I truly, this has been an eye-opener for me, where it told me to slow down and really focus on what's really important and why I should have originally gotten into coaching. So to answer your question, with that, I would be honestly okay. If God just said, hey, I want to keep you at Concordia for 30 odd years, if I can still coach and mentor these young men, I'll be happy with it.
Okay, good for you, man. And you said that, when did all this happen, where you were like, that transformation happened?
No kidding, this had to be 2 weeks ago. It was, I don't know what day, but I was in the shower and it just hit me like, this is what it means to coach for the players. And as soon as they hit me, I got out and I told my girlfriend, I was like, babe, I really had that moment. Like, this is what it means to not coach for the money, not coach for the glam, don't coach for D1, but to really coach for the players.
And that's a big deal. I mean, and that's what sometimes we think about. Like, honestly, you think about all the things that all of us really need coaches ourselves, like to coach us. You think about all the things that we talk about with the kids. It's right. If you want to score 40 points in a game, well, you can't go out on play one and thinking about scoring 40 points. You can only think about that play right now, right? Like, if I want to score 40 eventually, then I need to execute this one play really, really well. And then the next play, I got to think the same way, and the next play the same way. And then the next thing you know, 40 happens, right? And that's where, and I think back to the years, we've had a handful of years where we were really good. And you think about those games where, you really kind of just pour it on and you're clearly the better team, and maybe you do score 40 or you get that running clock. And again, when you really sit down and just watch the film, it just came down to a whole bunch of really good football, right? And that's it. It was never like, I guess once in a while you might get this burst of points or a turnover from the other team if they happen to be really bad, but at the end of the day, it's just like that, one play at a time. And that's the exact same thing for our coaching career. Like, if you want to be really good eventually, well, you need to be really good today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some of these guys in the chat, and when I was just sitting here thinking about all the guys that we have in the chat here, Campos, Gardner, Johnson, Quiroga, like a whole bunch of coordinators, man. Freeman, Thomason, I don't know what is your job out there in Oregon? Let us know. I know that Ben Payne, he comes in sometimes. He's a head coach, but we seem to have mostly coordinators. Do you think that there's a possibility that some head coaches, why is it that it seems that less head coaches seem to be watching or hunting for info than coordinators? Have they lost some of their hunger to improve?
I would say no. I think they're mentally, strategically looking at things different way. Is more so. I think head coaches talk to other head coaches. They meet with those guys to see what are they doing with their team. How are they getting the team morale to be good? How are they getting their team to buy in, building their culture? I think, when you become a head coach, that kind of takes precedence because you hire coordinators to focus on the X's and O's. And it's not to say that the head coach is not involved with that, but he's probably more focused on getting everybody to buy in, getting administrators to buy in, getting parents to buy in. So he's more focused on, and I'm assuming here that, this is what I have to do to have a successful program.
Yeah. And Coach Gardner says they don't have the time Thomason says head coach OC, so we do have a head coach in the house. But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's that they have less time. Maybe it's that maybe it is that the job itself is inherently a little different, and then that leads to that. Now, another thing though is that you figure, let's take any one staff. There's one head coach and 9 assistants. So just by sheer numbers game, there are less head coaches in the world than there are assistant coaches, right? So maybe that's what we're seeing, just a numbers game of, you know, if it's 10% head coaches, then 10% of your viewers in any one thing would be head coaches. So maybe that's not. Although I do think that you have to be careful that once you become the head coach, how do you stay hungry, right? Do you stay Ooh, I can hear myself. Do you stay hungry to keep climbing? Is the next big, like, as when you're a coordinator, you always want to be like the next thing up. I want to be a head coach. The next thing up. Well, what's the next thing up from being the head coach? You just want to be the head coach at a bigger school?
Well, I think it's ultimately your it has to be, right? To go to a bigger school, or I guess looking at another route is become an AD, right? I think that's probably the next layer to it, is become a head coach at a D2 if you're a D3, or a D1 if you're D, or lower. If you're FCS, you want to go to FBS. I think absolutely. I think that's, especially a younger head coach, that's their goals, something they want to attain throughout their career.
I wonder what it is that like if you take where my situation now, where I'm sitting here, I'm kind of waiting, and when that time comes, I'd like to go be a coach again. But I'm in a unique situation because when you look at my resume, the way just things shook out as I was chasing a head job, or as my son came into high school, and I ended up taking a 1-year stint at Judah Christian, starting an 8-year program. Then they just wanted to stop the program, so I had to leave. So when I look at all the things that went on, it's like, man, first of all, when I get done here, I'm going to be 44 years old. I don't know that I have the time to go join someone's staff and be low man on the totem pole and just wait the 10 more, 15 more years till I go up, till I become the head coach. Or my resume is too sloppy at this point, or been too many jumps that I don't know that I could get another opportunity somewhere, right? So it's just such a unique situation. I don't exactly know the direction to take it, though I know I want to coach. I know I would like to coordinate somewhere, or would love to one day be a head coach again.
Well, I think you know enough people. I think that's an element that you're missing. I think you know enough people where you put some fillers out there, and I think it'll come down to, or do you want to relocate? Do you want to be able to see your son play if he plays in college? Do you want to lose that time with your family? I think that's probably the tougher decision you have to make. I think that avenue will be there for you. It's just, what are you willing to sacrifice to become a coordinator somewhere else, or become a head coach?
Right, you're right. Because that's not to say that whatever your situation, or whatever your, whatever your current experience level is, doesn't mean that the next gig is not going to still require sacrifice. Because it does. And what happens though is, as we when we're younger, we're really willing for that sacrifice. Like we're okay with it. Yep. The sacrifices. I'm going to do this, and you're young. Well, all of a sudden you get into your 40s, and all that sacrifice is just much less appealing. You're just like, I'm not so sure I want to give it all up now. Like, and that can be for a number of reasons, but I think that is probably a situation I'm in now. I'm like, hey, I could get the same opportunities I was getting when I was 30, but now maybe I'm not willing to make those same sacrifices, to go live in some podunk town, to go wherever the job is, right? When I was 29, I got my first gig. I was willing to go anywhere, and we went anywhere, right? And now, but here's the other thing. Not only am I in my 40s, but my wife will be in her 40s too, and much less excited about following my rear end around. Coach Gardner in the chat says, I don't have a degree. It's going to kill my chances of being a head coach. 3 more years here at PC, not Mormon, and no degree, low chances. May have to come in California. So it looks like Gardner would love to get his shot. That's the thing. Everybody's situation is different. But I know of some Illinois guys that don't have that 4-year degree that have a head job. You know, there's a couple actually out there, even in central Illinois area. And they run like the what used to be known as like the in-school suspension room in their schools. I know of 2 guys that actually run that and are head coaches.
Right.
What's that?
I'll say, like, I think I know a guy like a security guard. He's the head coach.
Really?
I think at one of the CPS schools. Yeah.
CPS schools.
But that's a is that kind of like an Illinois thing where you got to be?
I don't think
no. To be a teacher.
No. No,
Okay.
like obviously I think a school would prefer their head. Well, they want as many coaches as possible, probably, to be in the building, and that there are a lot of advantages to being in the building. All you have to have is that ACEP certification, and that can be acquired online. I believe you would have to have a high school diploma to be able to do ACEP, but I don't know that for sure. But you have to have the ACEP certification. Thomas says, I'd love to go back to being just the OC. And that's the cool thing too. So here's my situation, Watkins. I love to coach. I would love to call a defense again one day. I would really love to call an offense one day. But it made me think of this. The reason that it's almost impossible to find an offensive coordinator job. Like you don't just hire some OC from the outside at the high school level, because most head coaches are going to be their OC. And if they're going to give up the OC job, then surely that's going to go to a guy that like has coached with them for years, is on their staff, right? Like it is just rare at the high school level to pull in some OC from the outside, right? That's really rare. It'd have to be a good friend of yours, I gotta believe. So that's the thing too. Yeah, I'd love to be an OC. Who wouldn't? Like, just calling plays is fun. But again, that's the situation going, goodness gracious, you would you can't, I don't even think like trying to become an OC is something you can plan for. That's just like, you have to get lucky. The right situation has to fall into place. Coach Gardner says, I worked in schools first 9 years as an IT guy, but there are fewer of those than PE jobs. Oh, I didn't realize that. Fewer IT guys than PE jobs, and PE jobs can be hard to come by.
I'll say, well, I didn't know. Wow, that's a good point. So would that include, because I remember one of my favorite classes was keyboarding.
Okay.
I credit my keyboard teacher to how I type with a laptop. You got to know your home key. You got to know, right? So is that kind of the same field, or is it like, I guess, behind the scenes with IT?
Yeah, my guess is that IT is more making all the online systems work at the school, right? The network, all that stuff. That would be my assumption. I wonder what the keyboard teacher, what that person's teaching certification was in. I don't know, because I had the same thing. I had a keyboard teacher. In fact, I'm shocked that they don't teach keyboarding in school anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And you would think it would only get taught earlier nowadays. But instead, they don't teach it at all. All my seventh graders, all of them. I can't believe it. And I'm like, I went to school. I learned in middle school how to truly type. And I'm like, that was 1990. I was in 7th grade in 1991. Yep. And we learned how to type. And I'm like, you tell me in 2020 when almost, and here's the thing, Watkins, now COVID, all of school is on your computer. And they still don't teach them how to type. What happened? What happened?
That's a great point. They had to make a cut somewhere, and that's what got cut. So Gardner says keyboarding is usually a 5th grade core skill,
but they just do it in class. Zero skill transfer to real life. I guess so. I guess so, man. We were all into it, right? We're trying to be the fastest typer and the games that they had. I was all into it, man. And if you
fastest, try to get the right. Oh yeah, that was.
And if you got done early, you got to play Oregon Trail. That was the motivation back in the day. Got done early, I'll play Oregon Trail. Or, do you know this old school computer game, Watkins? Montezuma's Revenge. Have you ever heard of that one? He's freezing out. I don't know. How about any of you guys in the chat? Do you remember Montezuma's Revenge? That old school computer game? That one was actually my favorite, more so than Oregon Trail. That was my actual favorite. I learned how to type on a typewriter. I did too, Gardner.
That was a good game.
Quiroga says, I'm a head coach and OC, but I can't stop studying. Good. Good for you, Quiroga. I don't think I realized you were the head coach there now. I thought you were just the OC. And now he's the head coach too. I'm sure he told me that before. It wouldn't be fun to me anymore if I stopped trying to grow. I can just now. We got you? Nope, you're cutting out again. We lost him. We lost Watkins. Well, there's about 5 minutes to go. Maybe that means it's time to go. Next Monday, we need your guys' help. Let us know where you want us to go with any conversation if you have a direction for us to go. Otherwise, we'll just continue to argue and listen to Watkins' nonsense. Did you hear me say that, Watkins? Your nonsense?
I heard the nonsense.
Hey, you got a nice, tight haircut in the CUC picture. That's your avatar there.
Appreciate that. I think about cutting it again. COVID got me. That's why I grew it out.
Oh, if only I could still grow my hair out. If only. Actually, we got a kid on my team. He's got the most wicked mullet of all time. And I tell him, I'm like, dude, do you realize that yours is the only haircut that I would prefer to just stay bald? I'm like, your haircut is so bad that if I had the choice, I would just stay bald for me. Like that's how bad your haircut is. Quiroga says,
Oregon Trail was a classic.
Oh, that was a classic. But again, Montezuma's Revenge was my game. Quiroga says, I think a good question is how many guys who are head coaches would be willing to go down to a coordinator or position coach? And that's the thing, because most head coaches will tell you, just like Thomason said, he's like, I would really like to do it. I'd like to go back and be an OC or something, right?
I think it depends on the level.
When push comes to shove, it's hard to give up.
Right. So I think in an NFL or collegiate level, if you get fired, you got no choice but to be a coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for a year. Then you just get another head job.
I cannot go this whole hour without giving props to Deion Sanders becoming Jackson State head coach.
Coach Prime, baby.
That?
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
What do you think? How do you think he's going to do?
Man. So, worst case scenario, he goes to Florida State and becomes the head coach.
Wait. That's your worst case scenario?
That's the worst.
Okay, you say that's how far away?
So, man, that's the thing. So I say if they win, like let's say for whatever reason, I don't know how many games they play or whatever. If they go undefeated, I feel like some team is going to throw something at them. Right?
Okay,
I think somebody that's bigger than Florida State. That's what I was saying. If they go undefeated, win, do crazy things, he gets recruits. Somebody throw in that. Maybe that's somebody's Michigan.
No way. No way, I say, does he go anywhere Power 5 besides Florida State from Jackson State. I'm not saying he wouldn't eventually be able to go somewhere else, but I don't think that he would be able to get the job anywhere else from Jackson State. I think there would have to be another stop there somewhere, in my opinion. Just because and then the second thing too, like you're like, if he goes undefeated, I mean, going undefeated is hard in any league, league, anywhere, any level.
It's hard. And so that's why, I agree. It's hard. And I agree maybe you should go to like a Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, but somebody that Cincinnati plays, Miami, Ohio,
Yeah.
South Florida, Florida Atlantic, like that level, and then go. But if they're going to feed it in his prime, man, that's he's hot. He's hot.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of coach he is. I'm anxious to see like him work, and like, I don't know him as a coach at all. I just know him as a personality.
I'm anxious to see his staff. That's what would tell me a lot. Who does he hire?
Yes.
And because he called the plays at the high school he was at. He was the head coach and offensive coordinator, I believe. And then he left and went to another school and just became the OC. So he's been calling the plays. I think he got 2 of his boys in college now, and he got another one that's a top senior that's committed to Florida Atlantic. So it'd be interesting to see what his son does now.
And say maybe he plays for Daddy. I'm sure Daddy would love to have him. That'd be nice, huh? I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm anxious to watch him coach, and I'm sure there's going to be cameras around him all the time, so I think we'll get a really close look at him coaching. But you just never know. Like, to me, besides the fact that I do think he's going to be able to recruit, especially in the first year. I feel like in the first year, 0-9 is as likely as 9-0. It could go either way for all I know in the first year, right? Because in year 1, that's before you get your recruits. You just got who you got. So I don't know how good of a coach he's going to be, right? I've seen a lot of guys that I thought were really likable, not be electric coaches, not be really good coaches. It happens. Like, there's a formula to it, and some guys have it and some guys don't, and some guys look like they would have it, but they can't quite do it, and you just never know who it's going to be. So I don't know what kind of guy old Deion's going to be, but it is going to be fun to watch. I know that. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And also, the other thing I got to look up is, who does Jackson State play? I don't know their schedule, Is that like Alcorn State and Alabama State?
Yep. So they play historically black colleges. So like you said, I think Alabama A&M, Texas State, FAMU, Florida A&M. So that's what I'm intrigued to see. So 2 things. One, do they bus from Jackson, Alabama to Tallahassee, Florida? Do they take that 9-hour bus drive, or do Deion pay for everybody to fly? And then he's sponsored by Under Armour. The university is sponsored by Nike.
Oh, there's a little conflict of interest.
So we'll see.
Someone's going to have to give.
We'll see.
Yeah, they'll figure something out. All right, man. Well, it's 10 o'clock. That means it's time to go. I did want to tell you about my trip this weekend, man. I went and saw Jeff Boyer out at Byron, Illinois. And we recorded 3 videos. Man, it was good. It was really good stuff. And so I'm excited for you guys to see it. The first video will be coming out probably in about 2 days. First video will be on the online clinic. So it was three videos on the wing tee. And the first video is on, I've never had a video on this, the double dive, that second back through stuff.
Double dive?
Yes. Now I'm guessing you've never had to defend it. I've never had to defend it either. But I have seen a couple, and you don't see a lot of teams run double dive, where like that first back is going right through the midline, and then they bring the ball back again, and that second back's going more like B gap, C gap. And when you get a team that runs it well, boy, it is really nightmarish. And Byron runs it really well.
Right? That's the motion guy.
They bring that motion guy from their wing tee.
Running that dive, right? Yep.
He's running the second dive, man. It's interesting, and Byron runs it well. Obviously, they've played in the last 2 state championship games. It was really good, so I'm excited for some guys to see that. Gardner had to defend it. Illini West. What's that?
I'm trying to think. I want to say it's a college team. I don't know what to call it, but since you call it double dive, I call it triple dive. You follow the quarterback after that motion guy.
Who follows the quarterback?
sorry. The quarterback follows the motion guy. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. And I've seen a lot of flex bone teams run that like on the goal line as their goal line play. What you're talking about is that what you mean? Like that? Like we would call it like follow or something, like veer follow or something. But yeah, no, and this double dive can be tough, man. You have to watch it. We'll show you a clip when it comes out on the online clinic. Well, all right, Watkins. Well, you take care of yourself, and I hope you guys are practicing this week.
Absolutely. Tomorrow.
Full-fledged. Yeah, I hope you're practicing tomorrow. Guys in the chat, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you could leave us a thumbs up, that would help a ton. Watkins, I'll see you next Monday, and I hope that you come with more common sense. You were on a roll tonight. All right, we're going to see if LSU can win more than 5 games. We'll see you.
Later.